O son of the Sultan, be just. Liberate yourself from yourself. Remember the day of death. Maybe you will get to know us. The phoenix of soul flies off just like an arrow from the bow. Oh, such and such, think about that. Maybe you will get to know us. We are given the gift of continuously dying and being resurrected. The body's death now to me is like going to sleep. No fear of drowning. I'm in another water. Last year's miracles will soon be forgotten. New creatures whirl in from non-existence, galaxies scattered around their feet. Have you met them? Do you hear the bud of Jesus crooning in the cradle? We reincarnate continually in hell and heaven until we are free from them both. This scroll of our good and evil actions is a fancy and hidden, though at the greater resurrection it will be very clearly seen. Here this fancy is hidden, only the traces are visible. But there, he from this fancy will produce actual forms. Every fancy that makes its abode in the mind will become a visible form on the day of resurrection. He makes the outward forms to be in accordance with the inward nature. This is the manifestation of the secret at the resurrection, when everyone will be raised to life in a shape corresponding to his or her predominating quality. By God, flee from this ass-like body. For some time you were fire, then became wind, turned into water, became earth. For some time you became an animal, stayed around in the animal kingdom. Since you are now soul, try to be a soul who deserves the beloved. Like Adam, he was left far away from paradise, driving an ox on the earth for the purpose of sowing. He was sowing seeds till the day of death, that on the day of death he might be a glorious prince. The more one describes the end, the more blessed he becomes. The greater one sees the crop to be, the more zealously he sows, because he knows that this world of sowing is for the sake of the last congregation, and for the sake of gathering in the harvest. I have come this time to burn my thorns, to purify my life, to take up service again in the garden. I come weeping to these waters, to rise free of passion and belief. On the day when all the inmost thoughts shall be searched out, there will appear from you something latent. How often have we spoken gently to our stony hearts, and they would not accept the counsel? Then whatever you wish to mate with, go. Become absorbed in the loved object, and assume its shape and qualities. If you wish for the light, make yourself ready to receive the light. If you wish to be far from God, become self-conceited and far. And if you wish to find a way out of this ruined prison, do not turn your head away from the beloved, but bow in worship and draw nigh. Everything is perishing except his face. Unless you are in his face, do not seek to exist. Whoever is uttering I and we at the door, he is turned back from the door, and is continuing, and not. Since you cannot escape, do service to him, that you may go from his prison into his rose garden. The vehicle which you will curse in the end, saying, "You resemble a flourishing city, but you are really a ruined village." Curse it now while it appears to you still like a city, in order that ultimately you may not have to unload in the wilderness. Curse it now when you still possess 100 gardens, lest you become unable to renounce it and become devoted to the wilderness. You have gained these successive lives from successive deaths. Why have you averted your face from dying in him? What loss was yours from those deaths, that you have clung so tenaciously to this earthly life, O rat? Since your second life is better than your first, therefore seek to die to the world, and worship the transmuter. When anyone shows excessive ingratitude to universal reason, the form of the universe appears to him as a cur accordingly. Make peace with this Father. Abandon disobedience, that the water and clay of the world may appear to you as a carpet of gold. Then the resurrection will become your present state. Heaven and earth will be transfigured before you. Since I am ever at peace with this Father, this world is like a paradise in my sight. At every moment, a new form and a new beauty, so that from seeing the new, dissatisfaction dies away. Although the wall casts a long shadow, yet in the end the shadow turns back again towards it. This world is the mountain, and our action the shout. The echo of the shout comes back to us.